Good morning, Year 5s, and welcome to your reading lesson for the day. I'm sorry that I don't have my video on today, but there seems to be some sort of an issue with getting it up, so you're just going to have to listen to my voice. I've been really impressed by those children who've been accessing Teams and been submitting their work via Teams. Remember, if you have any issues, please send us an email to year5@theprimaryacademy.com, and we can try and sort you out and make sure that you're accessing Teams and the work that's been uploaded. So overall, I've been very impressed, and I've been trying to give feedback to most of you. And I was really impressed with the fact that I could see you using your skill of using the point, so giving the answer to the question and then providing evidence to support that answer. So we're going to independently read the next 4 pages, which means you are going to read on your own. I'm not going to read it to you today. So you just need to pause the video when you need to. So here are your first 2 pages. So pause the video, read them, and then when you're done, you can unpause the video and then move on. Right, and your next 2 pages, pause the video. Okay, so we've been looking at our inference skill, and we've been using our understanding of inference to be able to answer our point and evidence questions, okay? And we're looking at our evidence to support our reasoning as to why we've given that answer. So can you have a quick think about if you had to teach me how to answer an inference question? So if you had to see a question that we've been looking at over the past couple of days, how would you teach me to answer that question? So what would be the success criteria? What would be those steps I would need to follow in order to successfully answer that question? So pause the video now, have a think. If you'd like to write them down, you can do that. And think about what would you tell me how to answer that question? Okay, so hopefully some of you have given some really good thought to that. And this is what should be happening every time you read a question, thinking about what skill are you having to apply to this question? What type of question is it? Is it a retrieval question? Is it an inference question? Is it a vocabulary question? So you've got to think about that skill that we've taught you and then what we can do to apply those skills in order to effectively answer it. So first, number 1 is with every single skill, we need to read the question carefully and highlight the keywords. This is very important. And what we have been seeing is that the first lesson, when we do it with you, you highlight all the lovely keywords because we're showing you which words to highlight and you're telling me which words to highlight. But then when you have to do it on your own, you tend not to highlight those keywords. Now, if you are using Teams, you can use in the Word document, you can actually select the little highlighting icon or symbol, and you can highlight those keywords on your page now. So you've actually got, you don't have to now write out any questions on a piece of paper. You can do it on Teams, and you can select the highlighting little key, and you can then highlight those keywords so that you're really understanding that question, okay? If it is an inference question, like we have been learning about, you need to read the question and decide how many marks is it worth, okay? So if it's worth 2 marks, then you need to be giving me 2 bits of information. If it's 3 marks, then it's 3 bits of information using our point plus our evidence. And then if it's for 3 marks, we need to have the explain, okay? So point plus evidence is for our 2 marks. And if we need to give 3 marks, we need to explain that reasoning, okay? We need to explain why we've used those words, what evidence helps us to support that explanation, and what our answer is as well. All right, remember, it's not to go to pee, to the toilet, all right? That's P as in point, evidence, explain, okay? And then it's always good at the end just to check your answers. Just read over it very quickly and look at those words that you've highlighted to make sure, have you answered the question? So just like yesterday, it's going to be a lot easier for you to go log on to Teams now, because this is now on Teams if you can access Teams. If you are unable to access Teams, then you're going to be writing these answers on a piece of paper and sending it to the year5@theparmoacademy.com email address for us to have a look at. So you can see here, if we do the first one together, it says, Jenna saw the elderly gentleman with the walking stick trying to cross the road. She rushed to the nearby Pelican crossing and pushed the button to stop the traffic for him. So in your mind, what's really helpful, and what helps me a lot, is I try and picture this. I don't just read the words, I actually understand what I'm reading. So I'm trying to paint now a picture in my mind. I'm seeing this old man standing on the sidewalk. He wants to now try and cross the road. He's got a walking stick. And there's another girl, Jenna, and she rushes over to the Pelican or the zebra crossing, whatever you call it, and she pushes the button to stop the traffic for him, because now I'm going to imagine lots of cars zooming by, okay, and this elderly man on his walking stick wanting to walk across, and all the cars are just zooming by, okay? So what sort of person is Jenna? So now that I've painted this picture in my mind about her, what kind of a person do you think she is? And how do we know? So what evidence is there that would tell me that she is this kind of a person? So is she a nasty person, or is she a mean person, or is she a miserable person? Okay, I haven't given you the answer. So you have to think, what kind of a person is she based on her actions, and what actions would support your reasoning? So that's for 2 marks. And those of you now who would like to log on to Teams to go and answer these now, you may do so. Otherwise, those children who need to answer on a piece of paper, you can pause the video and unpause the video when you need. There are 4 questions today in total, okay? So have a go and look forward to seeing your work. So here's our questions 1, 2, and 3. Right, here are the words that you just need to match up for me. So, oh, it's not worth 4 marks, it's worth 3 marks. And then the last question, how do we know what the main character is feeling? Remember, I've highlighted these keywords for you already, so you're quite lucky. And this is for 3 marks here. So you need to explain your evidence. Right, hopefully you've understood your task for today, and I look forward to seeing that when you submit it. So thanks very much and have a wonderful day.